today I'm excited because I am going to teach you guys how to get a blowout on your curly hair. This video focuses on specifically curly, coarse, wavy, frizzy hair. I don't know what it's like to have fine, smooth hair. I assume that you'll just be able to take a blow dryer and just fluff it and it will turn out beautiful. I, however, cannot do that. This takes me about 25 minutes, which I think is pretty good, and it also lasts me about 5 days. So I feel like, you know, you spend the half an hour-ish time doing this, lasts you 5 days. I mean, that's pretty good to me. Another thing I forgot to mention when I started the video is that I start out with super clean, damp hair. You don't want it to be soaking wet, and you definitely want to make sure you're rinsing out your conditioner and shampoo very well. The cleaner your hair and the less product you have in it, the longer your blowout's gonna last. Don't give up after your first try. You're gonna have to play around with the angle of the brush, the angle of the blow dryer. You're gonna have to play around with different ways and different products and all that kind of stuff. This is just what works for me. If you have questions, let me know and enjoy. First thing I do is take my hair out of this turvy twist, and it's still pretty wet. If your hair is prone to frizzing, I would suggest starting with the top layer of hair, like the crown section of your hair, just because it's easier to just get that out of the way, clip it up, and do the rest. For me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, my hair is prone to frizz, but I feel like I'm pretty good at blow drying now that I kind of know how to skip the frizz. So I'm just gonna start from the bottom because it's easier for me to go bottom to top. But I just start by sectioning off underneath my ear. So I have this smaller section. I like to just comb through it. Normally I'll comb in the shower, but this is a comb from Dad. It's for curly hair, and it's great at detangling without pulling. Product is super important. You can use whatever products that you like. I usually do a mix of these two, something along these lines. These are Alterna. Caviar Repair RX cream is amazing. It's a protein cream. It makes your hair super soft, super shiny, frizz free. And then the Perfect Blowout cream smooths the hair and makes it just looks nice and healthy. And it makes your blowout go by a lot faster than with no product. So usually mix these two together. This is really good for coarse hair, someone who needs a retexturizer. This will make your hair it literally changes the texture of your hair. It takes it from coarse and hay-like to a nice, smooth, shiny, soft hair. So this is amazing. You just don't want to overuse it. I use it once a week when I blow out my hair, but I'm obsessed. So I usually take just a little bit in the palm of my hands of each of these. Some days I'll use one over the other. It really just depends, but I'll usually just mix them. Then I go in on that section and I do a rough blow dry. I use the Elkem 3900 blow dryer. It's cute. I like it. It's nice and light. It's nice and small, and I really like it. I also really like the GHD. I do high heat and high airflow, and I'm just gonna go in and rough dry. And it dries it probably about 80%. You can see it's a little bit frizzier. I got keratin recently, so it's definitely calmed down a lot from my natural texture, but I was doing this same routine with my very natural texture, which was very coarse and frizzy. So anyways, you just want to get it about 80% dry. This is super, super important, because if it's soaking wet, it's gonna create frizz. You want it to be almost dry, and then you just wanna go back in and just kind of smooth it out. I like the Chi brushes, and I only use the boar bristle brushes. That is very important to me. I do not like the plastic nylon bristles. They do not work for my hair at all. They fray my hair and make it look super frizzy. So boar bristle or natural hair bristle brushes are super important. I also like the brushes to have air vents going through them. I think that's also important. It's all about the tension when you're blow drying. So you want to take maybe a 2-inch or so section. Really, this is all up to you and what you feel comfortable with. Usually I'll take the brush in my left hand like this when I'm working on my left side, and I'll take the blow dryer in my right hand, and then I'll switch off going to the other side. But basically it's all about the tension of the hair. So you want to make sure you're pulling very tight and you're twisting as you pull. So I will show you. All right, so you saw what I just did. I went over the hair, the root of the hair, multiple different times. So I took that same little section and I kept kind of rolling and twisting and going down the shaft of the hair. You always want to keep pointing the hair downward, and then when you get to the ends, you just slowly want to release it. As long as you have a good brush, it shouldn't be an issue if you're touching the nozzle on the blow dryer to the hair itself. I mean, I wouldn't hold it on for a long time, but you can definitely do that. I mean, you can see how straight and smooth and just like perfect that little strand of hair looks. So usually I'll take that section, not mix it in with the others, and flip it to the back, and then I'll work on the next one. And the same thing, I mean, after a while you really get the hang of it, but it's really all about the tension on the hair. So after I do both of these sections, I take them together in the back of my head, and I'll take it and I'll twist it like that, and I'll wrap it up into a little coil, like a little bun, and I will clip it with one of these little metal clips to my head. And yes, it creates a bend in the hair. However, I would rather have a little bit of a bend that I can fix super easily later than have the clean, dry, nice hair getting mixed in with my wet hair. It just creates too much hassle for me. And I find that a lot of people complain about that, is that when they'll release the top layer over the nice dry hair, it'll get the dry hair wet, it'll start to frizz, it'll start to mix together. So I always make sure I coil it and just clip it up so it's out of the way, and I don't have to worry about it till the end. And I'll show you guys how I kind of counteract the bends and stuff after. So now you can see that I have the bun back here, and it's really just out of the way, and you know, it's just kind of preserved in the bun, which makes my life so much easier. So I'm gonna rough dry and smooth and blow dry out this middle section, and I'll show you how I do the top of my head. I wanted to point out that whatever side I'm on, I will switch the hand that holds the brush and the hand that holds the blow dryer. So on my left side, I hold my brush in my left hand and my blow dryer in my right hand. On the right side of my head, I hold the brush in my right hand and I hold the blow dryer in my left hand. So basically, whatever side of my head that I'm on is that hand that I use. So just be aware of that, like you can switch off hands. I also like to point out that I shut off and turn on my blow dryer a million times throughout this process, because if I need to readjust, which I do all the time, like I need to readjust, you know, the hair, or I need to readjust my hand, or I need to readjust like the tension that the brush is holding onto my hair and retwist it or whatever, get a good tension going, I will shut off the blow dryer, put it down, and then do it again. So don't be afraid to, you know, take a little sec, readjust yourself, and then pick back up the blow dryer. So once I have my second section done, I will take down my little bun in the back, shake it out, and you'll see there's like a tiny bit of a wave, but it's fine because like I said, it goes away in a minute. And then I'll take my blow dryer, put it on the high heat setting, and just do like a quick little rough blow dry to make sure everything is completely dry. All right, so once I just hit it with the blow dryer, I again take it, twist it up into a bun so it's out of the way, and clip it to my head. Now I can go in and I'm just gonna fluff it and rough dry it. So when you're rough drying, you want to definitely lift up and focus the blow dryer at the roots, because the ends are really easy to kind of like sculpt and make go the way you want. The roots are a little bit harder. This is where I take the most time and effort and really get a good smooth blowout, because this is the layer that most people would really pay attention to. Okay, so I have a good tension on the hair and I'm going to start blow drying it. As you saw, I just went in multiple times at the root, and I took it so it was lifted at the root and kind of pulled upward most of the times when I was blow drying and smoothing out the root. That way you get some volume and some lift. And then as you saw, I went in and I just smoothed over the ends just a few times by going just slowly across the ends of the hair. I now have just this smaller section right in the front, like these very front pieces, which you want to make sure are nice and smooth. Now, depending on which way you part your hair, you can kind of decide which way you want to blow it out. I mean, it's kind of up to you guys. Now, I usually just kind of like haphazardly kind of blow it out, and at this point I'll definitely go in with my smaller one because I can get into the root really well. So I'll just kind of brush through it, and first I'm going to start by blowing it out down, and then I'm going to take it on the top and blow it up. Then I usually split it in half like this and work on one half at a time just so I can get it really nice and smooth. So I'll go in, I'll twist it up like that. And just shake it out. You'll see that there is a slight bend in the hair. Then what I do is I go in with the high heat and loosen that up. Alright, so once you just kind of loosen up that wave, you still have the texture, but it's not like super wavy. Now if you see any pieces that are like curled or just not how you want them to look, then for sure go back in. But I like a perfectly imperfect, slightly tousled kind of look to my hair. Sometimes I'll find that like the front pieces aren't as smooth as I want, so I'll go back in at this point and I'll take the blow dryer just like probably right on like these little guys up here, and I'll go in and I'll just like gently go through it and kind of like smooth it out really well. But I mean, actually this is pretty much how I like it to look. I like it, you know, a little bouncy. I also like to finish off with a shot of cold air. So that is pretty much it. That is the secret to my perfect blowout from curly to straight. Ever since I started blow drying, it seriously saved my hair. It let my hair get to this length. I mean, blow drying is like my hair secret, plus hair, skin, and nail supplements from It Works. Obsessed with those. Next day hair, I will use dry shampoo. Actually, usually 2 or 3 days in, I'll use dry shampoo. I honestly can get my blowout to last usually about 5 days, which is like amazing. I use the Cleanse Extend from Alterna. I love it. If I'm wanting a powdered dry shampoo, I will use the Oscar Blondie Pronto Dry Shampoo. Both are great for brunettes with the dark roots who don't want their hair to turn white. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. Definitely keep trying. I mean, seriously, practice makes perfect. It took me literally years to master the blowout. Finally, I figured it out. Clearly, I'm not a hairstylist, but I like the way it looks and I'm happy with it every time I do it. I also really like that it lasts so many days because I pretty much do nothing. I mean, I wake up, I'll sometimes put a little oil in the ends, spritz a little dry shampoo on the roots, and then normally I'm just out the door. Sometimes I'll put a little extra curl or flat iron the ends if I want to, but it kind of just depends on the day. If you guys have any questions, let me know and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.